Okay, here's another Mark II video. This is just a small repair I'm having to do in the wheel arch. It had rusted through. In fact, this car was very rusty when I got it, and I've been slowly but surely replacing most of the panels. As you can see, I've cut the hole here, and I have this piece made that will fit exactly. It doesn't quite fit yet. I've got a little bit more trimming to do. As you can see, I drew an arrow on it so I know which way up it goes. Why, you say? Well, because let's face it, when you cut the piece of metal, there's no way you're going to cut it that accurately, and if you keep putting it in wrong, you're going to mess things up. But it's almost there. Now, one thing that I learned from a video online, and please again understand, I am no expert at this. I can weld things okay, not always pretty. Instead of having a sharp corner here, 90 degrees, you cut it in a circle or a curve. That way you don't get a hot spot. When you weld up there and you weld up there, you'd end up with a hot spot there. What this does is you weld up and you come round the corner, and this is much better and makes a lot easier to weld. So just a little thing that I learned from a YouTube video. Maybe it will help some of you. Next thing you'll see is me tacking this in place, but I got a little modification to do to it yet because it doesn't quite fit, and I will be grinding it out with my Dremel. Alright, that's it for the moment on this, and next time you see it, I'll be tacking it in place. As previously mentioned, I'm no expert on welding, so I've kind of tack welded it in lots of places, and the next thing I will do will be clean this up, and then where there are gaps I will re-weld. Not pretty, I grant you that. I'm no expert at welding, so as long as it covers the hole, then a quick skim of filler, I think it'll look okay. We will see. Well, after a bit of a clean up, it doesn't look too bad. There's a couple of little gaps there, but I'm not worried about that. I'll be filling those in with some body filler. I'm gonna put a little body filler in here and try and make it look a little neater. But all in all, I'm quite pleased with it, especially once I get it coated in Pour 15. It should look really nice. Just in case you're interested, what I was using to grind it down, apart from the DeWalt, is these, I guess you call them a flat wheel. They're very good. I use the 60 grit, and it gives a pretty good finish. I've used these a lot recently, and they do give a nice finish. So that's something you might want to consider. And not wishing to advertise, but this is a great little tool. Cordless, 20 volt. It was actually given to me by a buddy. He must be mad, but it's a great tool, and the finish there I think is quite acceptable. So a little bit of a skim of filler, then we'll get into some paint licking. Pour 15, here we come. Okay, I'm moving on now, slowly but surely. As you can see, the filling is going quite well. That's where the original patch was. It's got a little more sanding to do here, and I've done something which I guess some people will object to. I'm filling this in here, and my reasoning is that if you go through a puddle or muddy water or whatever, it's going to catch in here and it's going to cause rust. So I'm filling this in. It's not the normal way to do it, but it's something I think should be done. And I'm going to fill it all the way in, right up the top there. Because once you're doing part of it, you've got to do the whole thing. You may not agree with it, you may not like it. I do. That way I figure it's going to be better. Still got a few more welds to do here. The inner wheel arch here to the outer wheel arch, I'm going to have to do a couple of spot welds just to make it hold properly. and I have a little filling here that I have to do. I'm going to bend this piece down, weld it, and then trim it off. Alright, that's it for the moment. I'm happy with it. Alright, boys and girls, we have progressed a little. As you can see, I have painted the inner wheel arch with red pour 15. The reason I've used red is I'm going to do the exterior in a dark maroon metallic, and I believe this will complement it. It's very awkward to do all of this with protecting my newly powder coated front subframe. However, as you can see here, where I did the repair, you can't see it because I was so good. Alright, okay, I'm no expert, but I was kind of pleased. I think it's come out well. And as you can see in this wheel arch, it's not bad. Now let's move down here so I can show you the inside of that particular repair. There it is. And I'm not going to grind anything off of it. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is because it's going to be covered in a sound deadening material and then carpet on top of it, so you're not going to notice it. Down here you will see I have some tiger hair, as it's called, and this is just a very hefty strength filler that will make it look rather nice. And once I've finished with that, then I will sand it down and cover it with sound deadening material.